It's time for another Love Island USA Debrief episode 10. So this episode was a lot of like just chats and people exploring. Honestly, probably the most I've seen so far, like with people talking to different people outside of their couple. So I don't really know if I have a lot to say, but I say that now, and then once I get started, I might be here for the whole time. So if I do, sue me. But let's get started. So first off, Charlie's intuition, crazy work, because Hannah is so smitten with Pepe, and then they went in that speakeasy, and she is freaked out. And honestly, I'm not surprised Charlie's intuition was going off like that, because that's how she was with him. Like, Hannah's very, like, touchy. Like, she is a physical person right off the bat. She was like that with Charlie, and so he's probably thinking she's going to be like that with Pepe, because that's how she was with him, and he would be correct. And I don't really know if... I don't see Pepe and Hannah going anywhere. That seems very much just like a physical connection. I definitely feel like he has more chemistry with Sierra, but I don't see Sierra leaving Nick unless Pepe really puts pedal to the metal and applies pressure. Because right now it feels like he has the right to, but like he's playing the field, he's chatting with Hannah, chatting with Amaya, who doesn't stand a chance, chatting with Sierra, but it kind of seems like he's feeling Hannah a little bit more, but that could also just be the physical aspect of it, men. And so I do think once he kind of gets out of like the sex haze of it all, he's going to realize that he has a better connection with Sierra, and when he does and starts applying pressure, then Nick may have a problem. Yeah. And then for Iris, her chats with Ace are cool, but Ace flirts with anybody. Like, all he gotta do is give you the eyes and ask you a question, and all of a sudden it's the most deep conversation you done had in the villa. Well, you've been in the villa for 24 hours, not even. So I'm not surprised that's the deepest conversation you done had. Honestly, Ace is just like a big flirt, and I like him in the villa, but I don't want him with Shelly. I will say this until the season's over. My end game for Shelly is gonna be Sierra, but they may have bestie too hard at this point, so who knows. But that's, at this point, none of the men are doing it for me for Shelly. I want Shelly with Sierra. And then, but for Iris, I could see her, like, her connection with Nick is cute or whatever, but I really want to see her break up Jeremiah and Huda. Because, first of all, Huda is doing a lot. That backbone in the last episode, better be careful with those B words, because Iris is a better woman than me, because if that had been me, I would have kissed him. Even the longest kiss out of everybody in the villa would have been with him, just because who do you think you're talking to? I am not your friend. I do not know you like that. I've never met you. Be careful with those B words. She be doing a lot for me. So yeah, I definitely agree with Iris when she said it's giving high schoolish, because it definitely is with Huda. But like my friend pointed out when we were talking about it, like, well, that's probably where Huda's mentality is, because when she had her baby, she was 19, 20. So she was very much still in a teenager's mindset, and that's probably where she's stuck, if I'm being honest, and it's kind of showing. And yeah, so then like their whole beef, Huda and Jeremiah, the whole day, like, it gives that. And I'm sorry, but at first she had me, like, when she was saying, like, all the other guys are doing things for their girls, which they are, like, the dates and stuff, that's very valid. But she keeps nitpicking on, like, the breakfast. Like, he gives you breakfast every day. And then, like, for it to spiral into, like, okay, the pancake wasn't cooked through, so then you ask Taylor to make a new one. I realized that she's the prime example of, she wants people to love her the way she loves and not accepting the way other people love. Like if roles had been reversed, if Jeremiah had been in the kitchen and had asked, I don't know, Shelly to help him make breakfast, she would have stepped in and made breakfast for him. So that's what she wanted from him. But, like, that's not how Jeremiah works. Like, if you ask somebody else for help, he's going to let that person you asked help you. He's not going to just step in and do everything for you. Like, that's not how he is, but that's how she wants him to be. So that gets into the conversation of, again, she wants to be loved her way and not loved the way he can love her, which is why they're not going to work out, because they're not going to work. And then also too, we already know the whole breakfast thing is a little sensitive for them, because Jeremiah has said, like, when he brings her breakfast and she's like, you did so good, like, it gives like you're talking to your child, and he's not your child, which is why he slid that comment in about, like, okay, mom, when she told him he needed to eat all his food, like, that's a grown man. He can eat what he wants to eat and not eat. And I'm petty. I would have put my fork down and been like, I'm full, because who are you talking to? So I definitely do think that, like, a lot of Huda's, like, issues are not necessarily invalid, but they're not valid either. Like, the idea of them is valid, but her examples are not valid. And but also too, on the flip side, Jeremiah, I didn't like that you were laughing at her, because that's a valid point. Like, even if it is a petty issue, and we all can see it's a petty issue, in her brain it's not a petty issue. So, like, laughing at her is not cute, because when you are having issues and pouting and, you know, not talking, she sat there and, like, worked it through with you and wanted to understand what you were feeling and going through, whatever. And that may seem petty to her, but she didn't let that show, or it didn't laugh at you. So I did not like that. And then he, like, threw in that comment in his confessional about, like, he's been in therapy for 2 years. Okay, and you still can't communicate well. I mean, literally, every time you talk, he cannot communicate with Huda the way he communicates with the boys. And I genuinely think it's because he's scared of her. Like, he is scared to confront her, scared to really be real about what he's feeling, because she's the kind of girl who goes crazy. And I don't think he's prepared for that. And also, too, like, Huda, why would he be incentivized to do any of these extra things for you when you've already done everything with him? Like, we see the shower, we see the nighttime clips. Like, why buy the cow when you've already had the milk? I'm just saying, like, girly pop, sorry. So yeah, their relationship's a hot mess express. So I'm hoping that they get broken up. I hope us, public, are all on the same page and voted correctly to have Iris couple up with Jeremiah. And then I also voted for, obviously, Jalen and Olandria, because she needs to get away from Taylor, because Taylor doesn't like her. He wants to stay in the villa. I don't like that whole applying pressure because you've got competition. No, you should have been applying pressure from jump, because Olandria is that girl. So yeah, Taylor can go ahead and step aside and Jalen can step in. So I do want them to be recoupled. And then, because I didn't know what, like, was going to happen to the people who were single, I did vote for Hannah for Pepe, because I'd rather see Charlie go home than see Nick go home if they dump the single islanders, which I don't think they will, but if they do. And plus, like, I feel like for Pepe to really find a real connection, he's got to get through his physical phase with Hannah and realize there's no, like, real substance and connection there, and then move forward with Sierra. So it's kind of like a stepping stone that needs to be crossed sooner rather than later, preferably. But yeah, that's how I voted. I voted for Hannah for Pepe, Jeremiah for Iris, and Jalen, or Olandria for Jalen. Yeah, I think that's all I got for episode 10. Yeah, let me know what y'all thought.